Hello again, my fellow peers. This is Francisco Cota, el Paco Machine from the band Hexen, and today we're going to be taking a look at our last assignment, which is Synthetizer for our music production course. We're going to be taking a look at the analog synthesizer that comes along bundled with Ableton 9. I've also set up an HEQ equalizer, so we can take a little bit of a look at what's happening while we are doing our assignment. So the first thing that we need to take a look at our analog synthesizer. This one works with two oscillators, but we're just going to be focusing on one. The second one does exactly the same thing. The first thing that we need to do is set up what type of wave we're going to be setting for our output. In this case, let's say that I want a sine wave. I'm going to turn my amp on, else I won't be hearing any sound. And I'm going to be hitting the space bar so we can take a look at our sound. So I've set up an A2 note right here in our MIDI region. It's an A2 note. Let me just go back to the instrument section. Okay, so the cool thing about this particular analog synthesizer, and these options you find in many of them, you got an octave option, a detune by semitone, or a detune by sense option, which you can find right here. If I want to take my A2 note and make it an A3 note, I could just turn it one octave up. If I want a G3 note, I can just detune it by two half steps or one whole step. And if I want to finally detune it a little bit further, I can take it and just detune it by a few more cents. And that's the first part of the oscillator. So we're going to be working with a square wave in this case. We could also choose either a sawtooth, or we could make the oscillator output make noise from the output. So we're going to be selecting a square wave. The next thing that we need to do is we need to be taking a look at the filters that we have, the options for our filters. In this case, we have the low pass filters. Remember, we'll make the filter out all the high frequencies by either a 12 dB cut or a 24 dB cut. Same thing goes for the high pass filter. In this case, it would be cutting the low frequencies, and you set them up. Let me just put the noise option so we could take a little bit of a look at what's happening here. So we're going to be selecting the low pass option. As you can see right now, I'm not hearing any sound because it's cutting everything that's above 30. But let's say if I turn it all the way up, right now it's not cutting anything. So let's say that I want to make a cut around the 1K mark. And right now I'm giving it a 12 dB cut. If I want to give it a 24 dB cut, I can just select the 24 dB option. And as you can see, it's showing me the cut right here. If same thing goes for the high pass filter. If I right now, if I select my high pass filter and then put the frequency all the way up to 30, that means that everything that's above 30 hertz is not being cut by the filter. But if I turn a little bit up, let's say for the 500 hertz mark, everything that's above 500 hertz, it's automatically it's getting past my filter. I could also select the 24 dB option. It gives me a little bit of a steeper curve. So that's the filter section for the analog synthesizer. Now let's select our amp section. And in this case, we're going to be taking a look at the square wave. We select the amp section, and here we have all of the parameters that we can fiddle around with. Remember, we were talking about the decay, attack, sustain times, release times. And in this case, there's a cool little option. If you want to make percussive sounds, you just hit the free button, and it automatically makes your sustain 0. And as you can see right now, as my A note is going over and over again, it's just giving me one percussive sound. If I turn this off, it automatically gives me my sustain options back, and I can choose the attack time, the decay time. So let's say a little bit more pronounced. There we go. Same thing goes for the decay time and the release. I'm going to be taking it a little bit like 200. And it's very easy. So the last part of our analog synthesizer in this case will be how to use the LFO. In this case, I have a rate of 4 hertz. That's giving me a 4 cycles per second. I can take it all the way up to 17 in this case. And also, if I want to make it a little bit more musical, as we said in the during the course, we could also take the option to put it by half steps, quarter notes, triplets, 8 notes, and all that cool stuff that we could do. Remember that you can also map all these options to any MIDI controller that you might have, and you can just fiddle around with it, maybe in a live situation. The last part would be the vibrato section in this case, which works kind of like the LFO section, but it gives you a little bit of a phasey sound, so it's pretty cool. You know, it's just for artistic purposes. If you're really into this type of sound, you could probably just fiddle around with it and find something that you like. And that's basically it for this part of the analog synthesizer section for the Ableton synthesizer. You can also, if I choose the second oscillator, I could just mix and match these, and I can make certain part of the sound go to my second oscillator, and from the second to the first one, and I can just do a whole lot of stuff with 2 oscillators. I guess that's it, guys. It's been a real pleasure for me. I'm going to leave you with a Gandalf quote, which says, "It is here at the land of synthesizers that our fellowship comes to an end. I will not say, do not weep, for not all tears are an evil." And I wish you guys the best of luck in your careers. I wish to hear more from you. Remember, if you want to keep in touch with me, just go to hexenmetal.com, and I'll be there rocking my socks off for all you guys. And that's it. Rock on, guys.